Hey, good Thursday morning, everybody. It is time to answer yesterday's question and, of course, pose the one for today, which I think you're going to really like because it's kind of a complex one. I gave you a complex one yesterday, too, a two-parter, and let's review it and I'll give you the answer. The question was, bases loaded, nobody out. Batter laces a shot down the right field line, fair ball, and it goes into the corner. Batter runner rounds first base and is heading into second base when the second baseman applies a fake tag, meaning he does not have the ball in his hand. In fact, the right fielder is still digging the ball out of the corner and hasn't even brought it into the infield yet. The runner then is caused to pause and hesitate because of this fake tag, and then he realizes that the second baseman doesn't have the ball. He touches second base and advances toward third, at which point he is thrown out on a very, very close play at third base. You're the umpire. What do you have? Well, I mentioned yesterday it was a two-part answer, and here's what it is. First of all, you have obstruction on the part of the second baseman. Think about our lesson a few weeks ago on obstruction and interference. You have obstruction, which is hindering a runner from getting to the next base or hindering a runner in his usual running pattern because of the fake tag. And because of this, the umpire has the ability in his judgment to award bases appropriate to what he thinks the runner would have gotten had the obstruction not occurred. Now, in high school baseball, and it's the only rule code that has this, there's a minimum one base award for obstruction. So the runner going to second base automatically gets second base. Now, in all three codes, and here's where the rest of it comes in for the obstruction, you also have an ability for the umpire to judge whether the player would have gotten to the next base or beyond had the obstruction not occurred. In this situation, because it was such a close play at third base, 99% of umpires are going to award that runner third base because that, in the umpire's judgment, if the obstruction by second baseman caused that play to be closer than it should have been at third, then he's going to award that runner third base even though he was thrown out. The second part of this, though, is what do you do with the fake tag? The fake tag is considered an unsportsmanlike act, which means that you are going to give a warning to the second baseman and let the coach know also, because the next time a defensive player, any defensive player, not just the second baseman, applies a fake tag to a runner, he will be ejected from the game, and that is in all three rule codes, high school, college, and pro. He will be ejected from the game on the second offense. Anybody does. So if a third baseman does it next time, he's gone. So that's the two parts. You have obstruction as part one, and then part two you have a fake tag. And the runner is awarded third base, and the second baseman and the coach for the defense are warned about the fake tag. So that answers yesterday's question. Now, today's question is kind of fun also. Here's a situation. You have one out, runners on first and third. The runner from first is stealing on the pitch. The pitcher delivers, and the batter hits a long shot in the air to right field, but is going to be caught. The runner on third realizes that. He goes back and tags up. The right fielder catches the ball, and the runner from third then releases and scores. However, the runner who was at first hasn't gotten back to first yet, and the right fielder throws the ball in to the first baseman, who then steps in the bag for out number 3 on what ends up being an appeal. Does the run count? Think about that for a second, and especially in light of what we said, I think it was last week, about a timing play. So, does the run count? Think you know? Post below. And of course, please like and share this video, and hop on and get your copy of Come On Blue, A Fan's Guide to Umpiring. And I will see you bright and early, actually probably dark and early, Friday morning. Have a great Thursday.